Good morning. It's Thursday, the 25th of July 2019. Welcome along to our Lincolnshire television studio complex and this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina, boys and girls. Sorry about yesterday. We lost our internet yesterday. It just died and it didn't come back for about 5 minutes, by which time I'd left. We don't worry too much when if we ever disappear, then give it 5 minutes. If I'm not back by then, it's not coming back because I've given up. As I said to you so many times before, I used to worry so much when internet type things and computers and what have you started going wrong. Now I'll give it a little while. I don't leave straight away. I'll wait and see what happens because usually it's just a little blip. But it was off for about 5 minutes, and I had a quick look on the 3 website, and they were saying we come to you over 4G incident in this program on the 3 network. And they were doing some work in the area, so it must have been that. Presumably, someone's pulling out plugs and pushing in other plugs and things like that. Well, here we are on what will be probably the hottest day ever recorded here in the UK. Isn't it exciting? How are you going to cope? I don't know. I've got a fan over there. 1 minute. Just the one. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Look, my fan is whirring away over there, boys and girls, keeping us all cool. But the trouble is, as it gets hotter, certainly in a caravan, a fan simply blows hot air at you. A little bit like the hot air coming out my mouth, to be honest. But yes, so we're just had to see how we go. Once again, last night, I had the air conditioning on in my little bedroom there all night long, but I found it a bit sticky. Strangely enough, still a bit sticky. I was cool enough, but I couldn't get comfortable. And my bed in there, I've got a John Lewis mattress topper in there, but it's too big for the bed because I got a small double. You can get a small double and a normal double. I've got a small double in there, and it kind of overhangs the side. So every 3 days or so, you've got to remake the bed to pull everything back into the position. Now I don't know about you, but I change my sheets, I don't know, once a week maybe. That's enough, isn't it? Once a week, sometimes, or once every 2 weeks if I'm not using them a lot. Not that the bed ever gets used for anything other than sleeping at these days, but there we are. My mate changes his sheet every 2 days. The washing machine's always going wrong, my mate's house. He's got OCD. He is permanently washing everything. He'll ring about, do you know, I've done 3 loads of washing today. There's only 2 of them live there. Only 2 of them live where he is. But I change mine every 1 to 2 weeks, something like that. But here, in the caravan, 3 days, and you've got to take the sheet off, pull everything back into the position, and then do it again, and then make it again. And last night, I woke up, I was having trouble sleeping last night. This would be about, what time did I wake up? About 2 o'clock in the morning it was, because I looked at the clock. And what's this under here? And the sheet had come off the mattress top. And you can't get comfortable. So I literally got up, turned the light on, and remade the bed, and then went back and I slept again. One of my mates told me a tip for getting you, and this oddly enough appears, I don't know if it's working or not actually. I mean, it might be the fact that you were going to go to sleep anyway, but he swears the way to get to sleep if you're having trouble sleeping is to stretch your hands out. Okay, so you got your hands like that. Now stretch them. Stretch them, as hard as you can. Stretch them and hold them there for as long as you can. And he reckons that sends him to sleep. Well, I've been doing that, while I'm laying there. I like that. I'm stretching my arms out like that. Well, my hands out like that. And I don't remember falling asleep. And I've done that a few times. I think it works. So if you're having trouble sleeping tonight, try that, okay? You put your hands out like that, in your bed, however you are. And if you've got someone next to you, push them over to you. That's it. Get out of my bed. I can't bear sleeping with anyone. I'm sorry, dear. Never have been able to. They get on my nerves. Pulling that duvet off you. Farting in bed. Oh, it's disgusting. I don't know whatever possessed anyone to start sleeping with anyone other than for that thing, That's it. When that's finished, get out of my bed and go to sleep somewhere else, please. In the street if necessary. I don't care. Just get out of my bed. Can't bear it. Awful. And especially in this weather. Oh my God. How on earth do you sleep with someone in this weather? In that heat? Dreadful, dreadful. Look at this record-breaking heat wave. This is in the Metro. I've started enjoying reading the Metro. It's I suppose it's very colourful. Let's just say that it's a colourful newspaper, the Metro. I read all my stories online. I was thinking about that the other day. I used to print everything off. You know, I don't have a printer here, but I used to print all my stories off, and I'd have a wedge of paper that big there. You know, complete with the paper and the ink that, of course, it's all used. It'd be sitting there, and I might choose 1 or 2 stories. I do it all directly off the screen now. Do you do that? Britain could bake under record-breaking heat as temperatures could potentially climb to 39 degrees today. And that's in London and the south. I'm so glad I'm not in London. I mean, it's bad enough being in the countryside when it's hot like that. But have you ever been in a city when it's really uncomfortably hot? New York is the best example, and Sydney. I've been at both of those places. The worst one of the two, New York. Let me tell you, you're walking through buildings like skyscrapers, fantastic skyscrapers. And not only is it unbearably hot, the heat is reflected back at you from the buildings, some more than others, especially if they've got like marble. It seems to reflect. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. And what's that place in Australia I went to? Not Sydney. No, not Sydney. But begins with B. Brisbane. Brisbane City. Oh my God! Some idiot. You know how hot Brisbane gets? Hot all the time, like it is here, but regularly, right? And some idiot decided it would be a good idea to put marble on the floor outside the town hall. And you walk it, your feet stick to it. Like that. Anyway, back to this important weather forecast for you this morning, boys and girls. The scorching, I'm more popular than Carol Kirkwood at this time of the morning, let me tell you that now. The scorching conditions may would you like me to do it in a Scottish accent, perhaps? No, maybe not. The scorching conditions may spark thunderstorms, which could trigger travel delays, flash flooding, and power cuts. Well, that's at the time I'll be travelling home tonight from Cleethorpes for our karaoke. Who's in the northeast of England? Come up to Cleethorpes tonight. I'm doing karaoke at Silhouette Bar, just on the road up from the seafront down at Cleethorpes tonight, every Thursday, 9 o'clock. And of course, very dangerous to cool off in lakes and rivers, especially places like the Thames. There's some nasty undercurrents there that will drag you under. If not them, the sea devils that were on Doctor Who a number of years ago are living in the Thames. Be careful. You will be dragged under and eaten by a sea devil. Just that if you told a child that, they'd believe you, wouldn't they? I might tell my great nieces and nephews that. Don't go in the sea. The sea devils are there. And it's so hot they've come up the Thames as well, waiting to eat people. Yes. A yellow weather warning is in a yellow. Oh, come on. It should be red, surely. Anyway, and there's a picture of the map, which is all red. Sort of centering on London actually and going up as far as Hull, which does include here, but in Hull I think here it's going to be about 32, London at 39. I mean, I just can't imagine that. It's just awful. I'm so glad it's not going to be like that, but only for today, and we cool off quite considerably tomorrow, I think to about 25 or 26, something like that. All right, so do be careful with all that. I'm thinking about just leaving the air conditioning on in the bedroom all day. Otherwise, it's going to have terrible trouble trying to bring the temperature down once it gets up so high here in the caravan. There we are. Right, let's read some of your messages this morning. Good morning to Adam the Plumber. Morning, Adam, who gets the first message of the day in this morning. Good morning, Adam. Congratulations. Now, how many, because I don't have my other bit of paper here. Now, the worry is, I've got a little list. I've only got 3 people on this list. Can you see that there? It's a bit bright. There we are. I've only got 3 people on this list. The main list is at the house, but I was looking for it to bring down here, and I'm sure I put it in my bag on the way up here on Monday, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm concerned I might have lost a bit of paper. I am a bit concerned. So how many have you got now, Adam? Have you now got 3? Because Shania at the moment is in the lead with 4. This week we've had Mike got one. Shania got one yesterday, although we had to abandon the show due to no net after about 20 minutes, so you won't find that. I actually deleted that. I wasn't happy, which was a damn shame. I'd so much prepared yesterday for the show and we had to abandon it, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. So Shania got another one in yesterday, which gives her 4. Adam, I think you've got 3. Am I correct? Do come back to me. Good morning to Mike Reese-Ponto. Good morning, Mike. You were only 3... Oh, my God, you were half a minute behind Adam. Adam would have been sitting there poised this morning. Adam's, he's like a spring. He's ready to jump into action, just like our new illustrious leader, Mr. Boris Johnson. Is it a wig? I want to know if that's a wig and if he dyes it. Good morning, Boris. No doubt he's in tune now with this programme at the moment, waiting to hear what his public think of him this morning. Morning, Boris Johnson. And off went Theresa. She had a nice round of applause. Did you watch it? I watched Prime Minister's Question Times. Everyone was clapping. And as she got near to the exit door, I could see she was all welling up. Oh, bless her. Thank you, Theresa, for doing your best, darling. Thank you, my love. I quite enjoyed the exchange with her and Jeremy Corbyn yesterday. Jeremy said something. I can't remember. He said something to upset her. It was all going quite well. I don't think she intended to attack anyone. She waits to be attacked first and then she gives it back. Like there's no tomorrow. And she said, I know when it's time to go. Perhaps the leader of the opposition should know when it's time to go. I sat down and slammed her books down. I love it. Oh, it's hilarious, Prime Minister's Question Time. Good morning to Diane Jebb. Good morning, Diane. Hello to Martin Edwards, who's feeling hot, hot, hot. We know that, Martin. Even hotter later on. Hello to Andy. Good morning, Andy. Ray Reynolds is in the Hi, regenerized people. We are energized this morning. We are energized. We are energized with an E, as Boris says. What a great speech. What a great speech. Let's see what happens, shall we? Give him a chance. They're all on the Facebook, aren't they? Oh, and they moan and they they moan and they moan and they moan. God's sake. Adam's so pleased. He says, just like Mr. Johnson, I'm in and I'm full of positivity for this wonderful show in the United Kingdom. Yes, we are, darling. I can see this show one day, perhaps having behind here, you know, like those what are they called? A little crown, you know, by appointment to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. Buckingham Palace's official chat show. I can see that happening one day. If only she would send me a little letter. Perhaps, I don't know, what does the Queen do? You know, when some of these companies, I think Fortnum and Masons have got one, haven't they? Or they might have lost theirs. Someone lost theirs. It was either Harrods or them. By appointment to the Queen. Something like that up there. Does she draw that herself? Or is it already printed? I think she might draw it herself. The Queen, yes. We could have a little picture. We used to have a picture of the Queen, actually, at the Mirror Studios in Royal Berkshire, didn't we? Good morning, Dr. SOS Gregorian. Good morning, sir. Ian Day's in the house. Morning, Ian. Over there on YouTube. Mike is thinking of switching to 3 broadband. Would you say it's reliable generally? Yes, I would, Mike. But not as reliable as a wired connection. How many times, you have to work out, how many times do I lose the internet at home and how many times do I lose the internet here? Okay, that's what you want to ask yourself. It does happen here. Didn't happen at all last week. The week before we had a few problems, didn't we? It kept happening. And then I contacted them and then the next day it was perfectly all right. And then we went the whole week. I would suppose for every 10 shows I do, I probably get cut off for 1. But when I say cut off, it wouldn't be the same as cut off for you. You see, you'd be watching a programme, perhaps via the iPlayer, and suddenly it would stop and going round and round. And that might carry on for a few minutes and then it would come back again. Well, if you were saving a lot of money, you might be happy with putting up with that. You could put up with that. Me doing a show, not so happy about it. But you see, the trouble is I signed up with it now, so that's it. I think generally it's very, very good, the 3 mobile broadband service. But personally, if I had the choice again, I'd probably see if I could have a line put in here. because it is disappointing for me, perhaps for you as well, sometimes when we're halfway through a show and we get cut off. But generally, it's good. Generally, it's good. All right. So, I mean, if you're thinking about that, I know Vodafone have a very good deal, Mike, at the moment. I believe that's £22 a month. Vodafone broadband. Okay, it might be worth you looking at those and saving a bit of money. Mike says, I know exactly what you mean about sleeping with someone. Me and my other half sleep in separate rooms. Bliss. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I certainly think, I don't know how old you are, Mike. I certainly think as you get older, it's not so important, the whole physical side of thing. You know how it is when you're a young man and, or you know, it's a disaster if you've gone home on your own, isn't it? Not anymore, don't bother me at all. Hello to Roy Brownlow. Good morning to Roy and his friends. And he's having Ritz crackers for breakfast. Are you having the cheese ones? Oh no, is that Ritz? Yes, Ritz. The little round cheese. Oh, I used to like those. Nice, nice. Adam, it's 30 degrees stuck on the M23. No air conditioning in your van, dear. My God, when was that built? No air conditioning in your van? You poor thing. But he's happy because he's got me for company. I am your friend indeed. Not your friend in need, your friend indeed. Thank you. Morning to Stuart Skinner. Hello there. Wait till they start cutting those fields. Loads of dust and insects will be in the hot air. Yeah, but you forget, Stuart. Love's in the air. Everywhere I look around. I've already been through one summer here, to be honest, and it's not been too bad. And I had the well, I generally have the windows closed on that side anyway, and then there's a camera. I did DIY yesterday. Yes, DIY Chris sprang into action yesterday. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Hello to Thomas H on Vaughan Live. Good morning in sunny California. Good morning, Thomas. Michael Pullman in Australia. Morning to you. Roy's ready. He's got his bonfire ready for the Witch May. Oh, Roy, come on. She did her best. Give her a bloody chance for quite. She did her best, Roy. Stop running people down, you miserable old bastard. Poor Mrs. May. Did you see the little film I posted, Roy? Eh? About Mrs. May leaving. It's quite funny. Have a look at my Facebook wall. It's directly below this, my friend, all right? Have you noticed the new Twitter layout? Yes. I just logged on to it. Literally, as the countdown was on, it got to about 20 seconds. I'll have a quick look at Twitter. And I thought, what have they done to that? Oh, so I'm not using Twitter this morning. I hate it when they change things. I'm sure half of the time it's just for the sake of doing it. You know, just, let's change things and upset people today. Mind you, I think that's the thing of getting older as well. We don't like change, do we? We really don't like change. Got some lovely stories for you this morning. Hello to Passeribo. Good morning, Passeribo. Claire is there. Good morning, Claire. Claire, I think you're in Guildford at the moment. You should escape the worst of the heat, but it'll still be bad. Still be bad where you are out there in Guildford. All right, Rachel. Good morning, Rachel. Our road is closed today due to repairing the sinkholes. Oh, have you got many of those? Do be careful, Rachel, dear. It could happen to anyone. You could be going on your way to Asda later on, and you're just walking along. You know, I don't know how old you are, Rachel. Maybe you've got two small children with you. You're walking along, and suddenly you look round. One of the children is gone. Hello, where have you gone? Down a sinkhole. Be careful, Rachel. You're not safe to walk the streets these days. If it's not a sinkhole, you're about to be knifed in London or something like that. Awful. Morning to Gary Butler. A very good morning to you. There's my nephew, Gary Butler. He wasn't well last night, bless his heart. Hello to Evan, down in Cornwall. Now, am I right in thinking down in Cornwall, you're going to escape the worst of the heat? There was a bit down, I'm sure it is you. I think you're getting up to about 25 today down in Cornwall. You're just about escaping it, aren't you? He's been in the States for the last few months. Were you doing talks and that sort of thing, were you? Instructing people, I would imagine. Evan is he's got an observatory. He's one of those startup. No, not Aquarius. No, not proper stars, dear. Not astrology. Astronomy, dear. Astronomy. Oh, that astrology. Oh, are you Aquarius? Oh, you must be this, and this, are you? No. Load of old baldy dash that. Yes, lectures, that's the word. Only 22 today in Cornwall. So if you want to get out of the heat, go down to Cornwall for the day. You know, if you can afford it, that is. Oh my God! If you're anywhere and you try and get into Cornwall and you go to the station, right? Now, I'd like to go to court. Oh, yes, when would you like to go? Now, please. Oh, yeah, that'd be £400, please. You want to go somewhere on a train and you want to go now, unless it's like a localish journey, and buy a ticket now, you are stung. And I just think that's so wrong, that is, isn't it? It's so wrong. Good. Look at that. We got through all the messages. I'm so happy. Someone's died in the news this morning. Jeremy Kemp. Now, you may not know him. I knew him as soon as I saw the picture of him. He was in Z-Cars, which was an excellent police series. I think it was on Saturday nights, I believe, for half an hour. And am I right in thinking that it started to be on several times a week at some point? This would be back in the 70s. And you remember the tunes for Z-Cars? Da, 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 da. And it was all done with flutes. It was a wonderful programme. All those old programmes. Anyway, Jeremy Kemp, he was in Z-Cars. He's died. He was from Chesterfield in Derbyshire. 84 years old. You would also recognise him as a German soldier, you know, with the black cross. Does that mean, is that Nazi black cross? No, I don't think it is it? Just because the Germans sold, they had different bits of armies, didn't they? I'm not quite sure, but he's got the crossing in this. I think he was a German soldier in a few films, actually. You if I showed you the picture and you're of an age, you'd know him straight away. I can't, not really allowed to take it off the paper and show it to you like that. But it says he's been suffering considerable ill health for a while after his partner Christopher died. Oh, he was gay, was he? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, the pair had spent time living in both California and London. He made television history when he appeared as in the original cast of Z-Cars as PC Bob Steele. That rings a bell, that name. Less than halfway through the show's second series, he left, fearing he was typecasted. Yeah, you'll find that with a lot of stars, actually. And this is the trouble. Once you get kind of, you know, in a show for a long time, people think, oh, well, that's the only character now that we know him from. So that's often why people change. They don't stay in shows, and you get a change of actor. I think that's probably why Christopher Eccleston, who was an excellent Doctor Who, but he only did one series. I think he feared typecasting there. I mean, when you think about it, for example, there are people who were in TV series for ages and ages but didn't become typecast. Take, for example, Larry Hagman, you know, who was in I Dream of Jeannie, his main two shows, I Dream of Jeannie, and, of course, Dallas. But some people do get typecast, don't they? It says his character was selected to tackle the increase in crime across housing estates in the show. It was great, Z-Cars. Speaking to The Sun in 1985, he recalled his own horrific experience with the police force. He ended up in a police cell after he was charged with beating a police officer. He said, I reported a drinking club to the police for not having a proper licence. What I didn't realise was the club was paying £50 a week protection money. Oh dear. So there we are. So rest in peace. And a great actor, Jeremy Kemp, who was in Z-Cars and, of course, played a German officer. There's a particular film here, The Blue Max, which was in 1966. But I'm sure I've seen him as a German officer in other war-type films. So there we are. We rest in peace to that man there. Let's just scroll back there. Thank you. Evan loved Z-Cars. Oh, it was great, wasn't it, Z-Cars? Good morning to Joanna. Good morning, Joanna. You've missed a song that I just sang a little while ago, Joanna. Oh, how disappointing for you, dear. She loves my singing. I'm scratching my leg. I got bitten on my legs last night. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Morning to Pete Branch. 5:30 a.m. and he's off to the gym. Oh, well, I just looked at your photos earlier, Pete. Have you just started going there or something? Doesn't look like you've been going very long. But nevertheless, you know, a start is good. Good luck, Pete. Have a nice time at the gym today. Poor Dr. SOS is melting in the heat there. We all will be. Morning to Michael Lawrence. Roy, £101 to Cornwall on a train. From here, £233 first class. You can hire a car for 25 quid a day. It's shocking. I always said, you know, trains shouldn't have been privatised. Although I'm a bit of a conservative voter, I do have some Labour type views. Things that shouldn't be privatised. The rail service, the electricity service, the gas service and the water board should not have been privatised. They should be there running at a reasonable price for the people. You know, the French are very good at trains, aren't they? They got that TVG or whatever it's called. Oh, it's so fast, dear. Very, very fast. Here we go. Evan says he was the German in the Indiana Jones film, The Last Crusade with Sean Connery. Yes, they were great films, weren't they? Indiana Jones. If you go to Disney, now which one is it? Or no, it might be Great Universal. I think it's Great Universal. There is a Raiders of the Lost Ark show, which is really good. And they have this big rock coming down and someone's running away from the rock. It's very, very good. I think it's at Great Universal, that. Thank you, Brad. What's this Medicare thing that you just posted? What's that got to do with the show that we're doing at the moment? I don't know what. How is that involved in the show we're doing today? Thank you very much for the information. I'll leave it up there for people to read. Dr. SOS Gregorian, upright fan is on. My fan's on here. My fan's on there. Look, it's over there in the corner. Oh, complete with a date coming up there as well. Look at that. Yes. Morning to. Oh, I said hello to Simon Hill. Is that DJ Simon Hill? Is it DJ Simon Hill? A very good morning to you, Simon. If it is you, I did see a little story about your beloved dog that you lost the other day. I'm sorry about that. Nothing worse than losing a pet, is there? Really isn't. I'm being very cheeky this morning, Pete. Good morning to Shania. She's the one in the lead at the moment with 4 votes. How many have you got, Adam? Have you got 3 or 4? I think you've got 3, haven't you? Shania's in the lead with 4 at the moment. She could be getting... There's only another few days to go. There's a special prize. Did you know, Shania, we've now dumped the certificate idea because something is coming in the post, which I have ordered. And if you are first, it is Simon. Good morning, Simon. Morning to Simon. I'm really sorry about your pet dog. Incredibly sad. I've had 3 cats over the years, and it's never easy. To the point, I don't know if you would be getting another dog, but I couldn't get another cat. I thought, I don't want to go through this again. 3 times I went through that. No more. No. And plus the expense, as you probably well know. You know, even when your beloved animal dies and you take it to the vet, they still want a bloody 150 quid off you, don't they? Oh, dear me. Lot of money. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. Is there a second prize, says Shania? No. We're not having a third, second and first. It's not Miss World. Well, which, of course, you would win, my dear. Shania would win Miss World. Miss World. Oh, not allowed to have Miss World on the telly. Oh, that's really sexist. That's against women. The lefties are out again, aren't they? The top prize is not £1,000. I have ordered something and they are being made at this moment. You will get the first one, Shania, if you win. But remember, I believe you've got 4. I think there's several people with 3. You know, you want to be there the next few days early on in the morning, my dear. Don't let it slip away. Never let it slip away. Andrew Gold. Excellent song, dear. Hello to Ben, who is in Barcelona. La da 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 da. Barcelona. La 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 la. Morning, Ben. Morning, Ben. Did I see you got mugged the other night or you lost something? I'm sure I saw that. There's no £10,000 prize. There's no cash prizes. But it's not going to be one of those things where I have the prize and I will show, as soon as they arrive, I will show you what it is. And we will be giving these out over the coming few months. Okay? You want more chance of sharing one, of winning one? Then you need to share this show to your walls. That's all I ask. Share, copy and paste the URL and share it on your wall and you'll have more chance of winning. I shall be keeping that's what I'll do. What an excellent idea, Chris. What an excellent idea. Actually, it was Mr. Gregorian's idea that we should give a prize to the person who shares the show most on their walls. So I shall be keeping a very close eye on those that share the show to your walls and those that don't. And you too could win what the winner of this month might win, which looks at the moment is going to be Shania, who is in the lead at the moment with 4. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ben got robbed. Gosh. Oh, gosh. I hope was it a violent robbery or did they just sort of... Oh, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry to hear that, Ben. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Rachel shared... Look, Rachel's desperate for whatever it is. You don't even know what it is, Rachel, yet. Now, I don't want to put your hopes up too much. This isn't a massive thing that you're going to win. As I say, they haven't arrived yet. They should be here sometime next week. And as soon as I get them in my little paws, I will show you what they are. I think you're going to want one. I think you're going to want one. Do you want a clue? No, no clues. No clues. Keep watching. Not available on BBC or ITV television. Only available for those of you that are watching this show, boys and girls. Thank you very much. Mike lost a cat last week as well. Simon, I don't know if you're still there, mate. Picked up my cat's ashes yesterday. She was put to sleep 2 weeks ago today. Oh, God. And I know how much it is to order your cat's ashes. Oh, God. But we do, don't we? We do. I've got, there's a couple of cats actually buried in my garden at the, down at the house. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, my love to you all if you've recently lost a pet. Now look, Claire. No guessing, Claire. No guessing, Claire. Is it key rings? God. Anyway, let's read you a little bit today. After our abandoned show yesterday, so I left the caravan and I went straight down to the swimming pool. Which was actually quite busy yesterday. Usually they have 2 lanes roped off for swimmers. We only had one yesterday, but I managed to sort of get... I went into the main part of the swimming pool and I went right up against one of the ropes and I tried to hold that position for the time I was in the pool. I go to the George Mulder Leisure Centre, which is in Boston, that's a bit of a pain to get to at the moment because they've closed what I call the bumpy road. There's a direct road that goes straight down. Well, that's closed at the moment. I don't know what they're doing, but that's closed. So I've kind of, instead of going like that, I've got to go, I come out of the road and then I go like that, right around it like that and back again, which puts about 10 minutes onto the journey. And got to the pool. Some of the blokes in the change room. I'm starting to get to know everyone now. We're all sort of, you know, over. I'm probably the youngest one in there, actually. Some really old blokes in there. One's 82, and probably that's why they're still alive, you see, because they keep moving. You've got to do something. I actually think, I'm not happy with my weight again at the moment, but I actually think you can be overweight a bit as long as you're fit. I'm convinced of that. You've got to keep moving, do something. Even if it's a simple walk, you can't just sit there on a bloody settee or a chair all day long watching the telly or doing nothing. You've got to do something with yourselves. Got to do something. So the bloke's there, he said, oh, I've just had that shower. That was cold. I said, was it? He said, yeah, they're stone cold at the moment. So I put my hand on and it was cold. I said, what's happened there? So anyway, I took my clothes off, got my little shorts on. Which come out of the door, and I thought I'd just tell the girl on reception. I said, excuse me, love, do you know the showers are stone cold? She said, oh, we know. Apparently the on-site technician has gone to get a part. Yeah, so he'll probably be back in 2 weeks' time, won't he? Do you know what I mean? Oh, just got to get a part, mate. And then they just disappear. You haven't seen for years. And then they come back with a little box. The traffic was bad. Oh, sorry, mate, the traffic was bad. It's a bit like that, isn't it? Anyway, so she knew about it. So then I went in for my swim. Managed to get, as I got in, someone got out. So got right over to the side and managed to complete my 50 lengths in there that I do. Got out and I come back. I wonder if these showers are ready. So I push the button, you know, push the button, sugar babes. Push, no, it doesn't matter. Push the button and the water's coming out. Oh, it's cold. Oh, God. Anyway, push it again. Maybe the hot water hasn't come through the pipe yet. Nope, still cold. Push it again. Oh, Christ. What shall I do? Because there's nothing more rank than having a swim in a swimming pool and then not being able to shower afterwards. I think it's disgusting. Oh, I can't bear it. I haven't got a bath. I don't like baths. I don't really like jacuzzis unless there's hot lads in there with me. I can't bear it. Sitting in there along that, and it's all very well you saying, oh, it's got chlorine in it. No, it's people's wee in that, even in the swimming pool. But if I could have my own swimming pool, I would have one. So I don't have to share that water with other disgusting people, dear. Have you seen the people who walk around in Boston down the end? Ghastly, awful people, dear. I'd have my own swimming pool. But no, I haven't got one. So I do like to have a really good shower afterwards. And it's cold. Anyway, so I thought, I'm going to have to do something. Anyway, so I kind of... so I put my key... See the button on there, it comes out. It's so annoying. You get about 10 seconds of water and this button... But if you put your key around it and do it up, you can hold the button in. All the blokes do. We've all worked this out, right? So I do that. So I've got this thing on. So I'm kind of edging round. I'm edging round the shower, right? Trying to avoid the water. And I thought, well, I'll just do a few little bits, the worst bits, which is under here, at the front and at the back. They're the worst bits that would contain dirt, aren't they? So I put some under and I thought, do you know what? It's not too bad. Now, when I tell you it was cold water, it was cold, but there's a big difference in colds, I think. There's mains water cold, you don't want to be under that. And there's cold water tank cold, if you see what I mean. And this was cold water tank cold. It wasn't tepid in any way, but it wasn't quite main pressure cold. And I thought, well, this, I might get away with this. So I done under my arms, right? Then I put the arm under. You can just imagine this now. Put my arm on. It's quite a powerful shower, this is. Okay? It's not like a little sprinkle like the caravan shower isn't very good, to be honest. It's quite a powerful shower. And so I put my arms under, done my arms, and I thought I'll just put my chest under like that, and my moobs. Put that under like that. Okay. Then I did my legs, then I did my front part, then I did my back part. And then my back, I think that was difficult. But, after just go back a little bit in the shower like that. And then I did my hair. And then once I'd done my head, I was then able to stand underneath it. Remember, it was very hot as well yesterday as well. So I think that's the first ever cold shower I've ever had. It worked. It kind of worked. So quite pleased about that, really. I had a cold shower yesterday. Imagine that. Yeah. So that was it. Got back in the car. I went to B&Q. I wanted some bits from B&Q because I had a little bit of DIY to do yesterday, which I'll tell you about in a second. And that was my morning, really. Let's just have a little look here. Scrolling back here. One moment, please. Look at these people are sharing the show to their walls. Thank you very much. If you're new to the show, welcome along. It's just a little bit of fun we do in the morning. If you don't like it, no need for a horrible comment. Just go. Just go. We can afford to lose. No, we can't actually afford to lose any viewers or listeners, dear. Shania really wants the present. Maybe you will get it, Shania. I don't know. But no favouritism, dear. You know that. No favouritism. My God, perish the thought that I would lie and say that you had more votes than anyone else. I would have to immediately go to confession and see Father David before he leaves in September. Dr. SOS Gregorian, I've got it in my mind. The prize is a holiday to Armenia. No, dear. There's no holiday. It's a thing. It's a thing. They are ordered and on the way. An enormous expense to me, thank you. Rachel can only watch on her days off. Don't worry, Rachel. You can always watch the recording, darling. If you're bored at home, here's my advice, Rachel, and a lot of the viewers who watch this show will give you the same advice. If you have trouble sleeping, put one of my shows on. Out like that. Seriously. If you have trouble sleeping, just put on one of my shows and you'll sleep within 5 seconds. Minimum. Maximum. Pete, is it a saucy picture of yourself? Calendar Girl style. We don't do porn on this programme, Pete. This is a family-friendly programme, dear. Get those disgusting little ideas out your mind immediately, please. Thank you. Gary Butler, perhaps I could be bribed to say what's being delivered. No, that's my nephew, Gary Butler. Don't tell them, Gary. Don't tell them. Or there'll be no more ice cream arriving at your house. Thank you. Oh, dear. Will you stop chatting my nephew up, please, Pete? Someone's chatting up my nephew. We won't have any of that now. I don't have any gay family. None. I'm the only one. Like Elton John, only gay in the village. Thank you. Are you giving away the bird jacket? No. No bird jacket. Thank you, Rachel. Paul's just rolled out of bed. God, as you see, there's no chance in you winning anything, is there, Paul? You know, like when there's a race, Paul, and say the race is, I don't know, doing the mile, and there's about 3 seconds before the winner's going to cross the line, and you're 10 people back. That's where you are in this competition at the moment. The race is about to finish, and you're still at the back. Don't think you're going to win, love, are you? But don't let that give you up. Don't let that make you give up, okay? Look at Mike. You'll win anyway. You're Chris's favourite. We can't have favourites, Mike. We can't have... Shania goes to a Catholic church, I'll have you know. There you go. If you go to a Catholic church, you might have a chance of winning as well, dear. You know, no, but... Oh, don't believe in that. It's all a fairy story. Oh, well, you won't win anything, will you, dear? Not even a place in heaven when you're dead. No, exactly. Paul and Lou, Skegness looks nice behind you today. It was lovely last night. We went last night. Went last night to Skegness. Oh, it was so warm. Last night, 10 o'clock in Skegness. It was so warm. People were still in the sea at 9. They were. Hello to Ellie Scott. Good morning, Ellie. Welcome along, Ellie. New to the show. Hello. She's in Ireland. What part of Ireland are you on? Is it Elle or Ellie? Well, I'm not sure. If it's Ellie, can you put 2 E's? Just once, so I'll know what to say then. I've never been to Ireland. How mad is that? My nan was Irish. My nan was Nanny Ryan. Nanny Ryan. She was from somewhere in Cork. Nanny Ryan, no longer with us. She's been gone about, about 25 years. She was lovely. Always at church, Nanny Ryan. She was always there. We're just learning now. Chris has a shower. Good morning to Linda Shave. Morning. Do watch the goodies. The goodies are fantastic. Goodies. Goody, goody, gum, gum. Da, 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 da. My favourite goodies show ever. The one with the giant cat. Do you remember that, Linda? Oh, that was great. The goodies. We love it. Ellie loves cold showers. Oh, no, dear. A lot of people, actually, Ellie, have to have a cold shower after they've watched my show. They get very, very hot after they've watched me. Which you can understand, can't you? I mean, you probably will have to have a cold shower. Some people have to have a cold shower while I'm on, and they have to stay under there until I've finished. It's too much for them. It's too much. Good morning to Tommy Flynn. Morning. What do you think of the new Prime Minister, says Linda. I quite liked his speech yesterday. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Give him a chance. Let's see what happens. All right. The prize is to go to Chris's house for a barbecue. Well, you might have a barbecue, but it won't be any dead animals on it, dear. Vegetarian, thank you very much. Poor little chickens. Belfast. Ah, she's in Belfast. Hello, Belfast. Never been to Belfast, I'm afraid. Never been to Belfast. Don't tell them, Gary. Ellie wants to win something. Oh, Ellie, it won't be this month. You're too late this month, darling. But we will have little giveaways coming up soon, and I shall show you as soon as they get here, all right? Let's just scroll down there. Ellie. It is Ellie. Okay, Ellie. E-L-L-Y. Thank you, Ellie. All right? She shared me. I wish someone would share me, Ellie. There's no one in my life. Isn't that sad, dear? Sad. I want someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. It used to be, but he's getting a bit old now, isn't he, dear? You know. Pardon? No, I don't fancy anyone my own age. Certainly not. Who wants to go out some old codger? Certainly not me. No, thank you. 35 years, maybe 40 maximum. 40 maximum. The goodies were fantastic, Claire. Kitten Kong, that was it, Kitten Kong. We've got a little story about some TV shows in a minute, all right? Good. Ellie likes 2-hour bubble baths. Do you like sitting in all those bubbles? Remember Mr. Matey? When you was a child, Mr. Matey, the bubble bath, was a blue thing, was like a head and a face, wasn't it? Mr. Matey. Come on over to my place. What's up, Rachel? Rachel's crying. Don't cry, Rachel. Don't cry for me, young Rachel. The Titanic Museum is in Belfast. Ellie's just offered to take me there. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, so there we are. So I came back here to do my DIY. So I had a little bit of dinner. Well, it was so hot in here. I've got my skylight open at the moment. I'm in a caravan. I've got two places. I'm up here usually during the week and down south at my house at the weekend. I do the shows from both places, if you knew. Okay, and I decided to do DIY. Now I've got two skylights. One's in the kitchen, which is a new one. Someone had that put in before I bought the caravan. I've got one in the bathroom as well, which has got several cracks in it now. Now, I did kind of temporarily fix it last year. And I said to myself, I'll do it properly this year. Now, a skylight, it's like a plastic dome thing, okay? And usually on top of caravans, usually in the bathroom and one in the kitchen. Some people have got more, some people haven't got any at all. But I've got two, one in the bath, kitchen one's fine. One in the bathroom, which just luckily happens to be directly over the bath. I say bath, shower. It's an old bathroom. I would like to get the bathroom done in that. So there's one over there. But, as I say, there's three cracks in it. And it was fixed to a point, but there was a drip coming. If it was raining, I would get a little bit of a drip coming into the bath, which, I'll be honest, wasn't really a problem. You know, but I thought I want to fix that properly next year. So I decided to do it yesterday. So I went into B&Q yesterday. I said, have you got, what's the strongest tape that you've got? So he said, well, we got this one here, Gorilla. He said, I said, I've got gaffer tape, but I want something a bit strong. He said, Gorilla tape you want? He said, the only thing is it's £6 a roll. I said, that's all right, I'll have that. So I've got a roll of that. I think was that all I bought in there? I bought an electrical socket. Was there something else, wasn't there? I can't remember now. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. So I bought that, got back into my car, come back. I got my ladder out. I've got a little ladder around the side. It's a wooden ladder, really old. You know, so you want a pair of like garden gloves to pick it up because of splinters. Well, isn't that annoying when you get a splinter? You don't always notice it at first, do you? You've done something. You've probably done something. And then you're picking something up or something like that. And then what's that? You know, and then you start going like that and you realise you've got a splinter in it. How do you do your splinters? I immediately operate, usually with a pair of nail clippers. I start cutting. Seriously, I start cutting and trying to squeeze it out. And with my glass, I have to have my glasses on. I've got my glasses on here. You know, oh, my caravan's moved. Look at that. Get back up there. My glasses are on there. And you're trying to do that, aren't you? And squeeze it out. And then you see it. That little black thing that's there, embedded in your finger. And then if I've got a pair of tweezers, I'll try and get it. Or sometimes once you get like the skin out of the way, you can squeeze and it pops out, doesn't it? Oh, I hate a splinter here. So I use gloves to pick the pick the ladder up, put it up against the caravan. Up I went, and it looks like the tape that was already up there was quite strong. But methylated spirits, that's the other thing I bought. And the man in the at B&Q, very helpful in there, I've found. Whenever you go in B&Q, they're very, very helpful. A lot of them are older people who work in there. I think they made a thing a few years ago about employing older people. And they're so helpful. This bloke, I suppose he was probably about my age, maybe just a touch younger than me. I'm 56. And he took me there. He said, well, I said, I think I want something to clean the thing. He said, yeah, you want to clean it first. I said, what do you suggest? He said, well, there's white spirit, but that will leave a residue. Methylated spirits is what you want. He said, there you go. He said, now be very, very careful with it. He said, that goes up so easily. I said, will it be all right in a hot caravan? He said, yes. Naked flames. Very, very flammable, methylated spirits. You get some people drink that, don't you? Meths. There's a few of you probably in here. Drink all the old methylated spirits, don't you? Rachel uses a needle for splinters. Yes, that's another. So just kind of pick, don't you, like that. As long as it hasn't gone too deep, then you can do that without much pain. Ellie says she's 99. Yeah, right. Of course you are, darling. 99, and you can work a computer, please. Don't do that. Roy suggesting the Gorilla Glue. Well, I'll come to that in a minute. So I've got this Gorilla tape now, roll of Gorilla tape, and my meths. So I'm going up the ladder. Pulled off the old tape. What I'd done sort of around, it was a bit cold, so I just wanted to do it quick. This would be about October, November last year. I had some, you know that stuff that you put around the sink? mastic. Is it mastic? So what I'd done is put that along the cracks and put a bit of tape on top, and it worked to a point. But it was just a slight drip. We're not talking the water wasn't pouring through, certainly not. But you get a few drips at the bottom. And I thought, oh, I haven't done that properly. So I've taken off the tape and removed the mastic. I've got mastic up from earlier on, which, because it was so hot in the caravan, had kind of gone really lovely and soft and so easy to work with. So I squeezed first of all, I cleaned the thing several times with the methylated spirits and some tissues. Right, so I've done that on the top. I'm not very good at DIY. wait till you hear what else I did. Right, so I've put this methylated nice and clean now. Look really clean. And then I got the mastic and I went along the cracks like that, squeezing it just along the crack, not pushing it, just squeezing it along the top, right? Then I got my Gorilla Tape, and where like the crack is, like that, I carefully put it down that side, and then I had a little bit of a bump there and put it down the other side, okay? So as not yet pushed it in the crack. Then, what I got then, I went in the kitchen. I thought, I wonder if I got something to put over the whole thing, you know, to cover the whole thing. Aluminium foil. Why not? Doesn't rust, does it? So I got a piece of aluminium foil, cut it to size, and folded it in half. So I've kind of got two sheets. I have to be very careful with that because it tears so easy, doesn't it? Aluminium foil, which incidentally I now use in my grill. I never used to bother. I used to be cleaning out these bloody grill things. Not anymore, dear. Put aluminium foil in there. Wonderful stuff, dear. And I would assume that's pretty all right for the environment. That would rot down, wouldn't it? In the ground, aluminium foil back into metal or to be recycled or whatever. Anyway, so I've folded over this sheet of aluminium foil, put that on there and taped around it with my Gorilla Tape. Now I'm smoothing it down, you see. So I'm now pushing the mastic into the crack. But it's not going everywhere because it's now got this piece of aluminium foil over the top. And then over the top of the aluminium foil, I finished off with the Gorilla Tape. Used the whole roll. Pushed it all down and it's done. So there we are. Chris Reardon DIY Services swings into action, boys and girls. So we now await a thunderstorm or something like that to test it out. And I will let you know live on this programme exactly how well or how badly my DIY was. That's not the only DIY I did yesterday. No, I've got some at the front. I've got a veranda, and it's quite old, and some of the bits are a bit rotten. And on the veranda, there's this post with like a round thing on, just for decorative purposes. And one of them that you pushed, if you pushed it, it just fell off. And I had these visions of someone coming up the stairs and holding on to that and then going arse over tit backwards. So I've taken that off now. I'll give it a good blow to get rid of all the rotten wood and a little bit of a rub down. And I've glued like a fence top thing, little square thing, wooden thing, onto the top of it. So that's absolutely solid now. So there we are. You know, there we are. Been very, very busy. DIY services, yes. Let's have a look here. Oh, gosh. A lot of messages there. I'll have to just scroll past some of them. I won't be able to read all of them out. Kitten Kong is funny, says Weird City Citizen. That was on the goodies, yes. Oh, Ellie's offering an Irish stew and a big Ulster fry-up. Sounds nice. No dead animals, though, please, Ellie. Vegetarian, darling. That'd be corn sausages or the lovely Linda McCartney sausages. Gorilla glue, Roy is suggesting there. Well, glue, that might not have been as pliable as the mastic stuff. You see, that's the only thing, wouldn't it? Ellie, is Chris looking for a girlfriend? No, dear. No. Squeeze! Squeeze! Boggit Builder, that's me. Rachel, you don't want to employ me to build a wall in your house. It'll fall straight over, my love. Hello to those of you with the karaoke clan this morning. Hello, karaoke people. I'm doing a karaoke to anyone up in Cleethorpes. I'm up in Cleethorpes tonight at Silhouette Bar doing the karaoke down there. All right. The outro will be coming later. Don't worry, Rachel. The outro's there. Thank you. All right. Good. So that was my afternoon. I had my air conditioning unit on in the bedroom yesterday afternoon, so that was quite nice. Not too bad at all in the bedroom, to be honest, yesterday afternoon. Got down to about 25 degrees. If I told you the caravan yesterday afternoon was 98 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's so hot in the caravan. So that would be 32, 33, something like that. Centigrade, 32, 33. In the bedroom with the air conditioning on, got down to about 25. And I've kind of changed it so the cold air is blowing a little bit more on me now, which is much more comfortable there. Okay. And last night we went to Skegness, and we had a lovely time in Skegness. We went. My brother-in-law usually comes, but he wasn't very well last night. He had a bit of a stomach upset, which was disappointing because we do have a laugh. I do have a laugh with my brother-in-law when we go to Skegness. We're like, there's usually me, my brother-in-law, and my sister, and we're like 3 children. Seriously, and we're all relatively the same age, you know, sort of around 55. I'm slightly the oldest one, at 56. We do go down there every weekend, and we have chips and that. But he wasn't very well. But my nephew was supposed to come, but he wasn't well either last night. So we went with my nephew's wife, who took us in the fun bus. She's got like a motor, not motor. Is it Motability? But not for her. We've got I've got a great niece who is severely disabled, so they've got a van. I don't know what that scheme that's called. It might be Motability. I'm not quite sure yet. Which is a big black. It's either a Ford or a Mercedes. I think it's a Ford. I'm sure it's like an adapted Ford van. Because great niece Olivia, she's I think 3 years old now, and she's got like a pram, and she never comes out the pram, only to be lifted onto a bed or something like that. I say a pram, you know, like a glorified big pram type thing, and that gets wheeled. It's got a ramp, and it gets wheeled into the back. Perhaps you might like to see that, how that all works. It's quite an effort. It's quite an effort for my nephew's wife Stacey to do all that. So she pushes it in, and then it gets hooked into the van on like things on the wheels and that, and then off we go. So we call it my nephew calls it the fun bus, and it is fun. We do have fun in there. I usually upset the 2 children who are probably sitting in the front. That's great nephew Harry, 6, and great niece Evie, who's 7. I might end up pulling her hair or stealing something from her hair, like a ribbon or something like that. At which point she says, "Give it back!" And I've now taught great nephew Harry to do that as well. So whenever she says, "Give it back," he says it as well, "Give it back!" And then she bursts into tears. But what amazes me, and we noticed this as well again last night, I think we just had chips, fish and chips and stuff, and I had my baked beans and chips. And then we come out of there. Now, what was it that I'm sure I did something, at which point Evie immediately started to do loud crying. And then Stacey, my nephew's wife, said something, and immediately the crying stopped, with no tears, incidentally, not a single piece of fluid emitted from her eyes, and she started laughing and smiling. And and Stacey said to her, she said, "Well, how you managed to stop crying so quickly like that?" And perhaps a sweet was produced out of a bag or something like that, wasn't it? So then we went down to the beach, Skegness Beach, which, as I say, was incredibly hot last night. This was at 9 o'clock at night. And it's still bright. There was people in the sea. Sadly, very sadly, a lot of rubbish on the beach. I mean, it's just unnecessary, isn't it? They actually put bins on the beach. But to be fair, the bins were overflowing. Some idiot had decided not to empty the bins, I suppose. The bins were actually overflowing on the beach, which doesn't help, does it? But it was items of rubbish on the beach, which I just think is inexcusable, really. Take the bloody stuff home, for Christ's sake. My sister and the 2 children went in the sea. I don't do that. I hate sand. I can't stand sand. Gets in your toes and in your nails. And there's no way to wash your feet off or anything. I really hate sand. Do you know, I've just had an idea. Why don't I just take a couple of bottles of water out with me? I could, a couple of large bottles of water or one of those jerry cans of water. I could carry that with me. Walking along the beach with 2 jerry cans full of water. What are they for? Wash my feet. So they went in the sea, and me and my nephew's wife, we stood on the sort of promenade. I just knocked that. I didn't tap myself off here then, did I? On the promenade, we were just talking. but we got bitten. We got eaten alive by these horrible little black flies, tiny little black flies they are, and they've got a shell. They seem to have a shell. These black flies that protects them. You know, if you go like that, they don't seem to squash. Evil, and they just kept landing and landing and landing. And I've got bites on my legs tonight, which is rather disappointing. Also rather disappointing, I have to report, bless me, Father, but I have sinned. It has been 200 years since my last confession. I had not one, but 2 ice creams last night. And after having one large portion of chips, plus the chips that Evie had left over and Harry had left over, I was feeling quite fat. I cannot lie to you. The weight just... I must get back on this Slimming World thing. I really must. So there we are. That was our day in Skeg Vegas, as Rachel says there. And it was lovely. I mean, it was so nice. And we stopped at Asda on the way back. Because we were too late to go to Aldi, unfortunately. And in there... I'd gone in there for some fat-free yogurt and they didn't have any. Of course, the 2 children come in and Evie says, "Can we have a treat?" I said, "Is my name Uncle Chris? Of course you can have a treat. Go and help yourself." Right? At which point, she picked up a box of Lindor chocolates. £5. I said, "What's that?" She said, "That's my treat." I said, "No, it's not. Wrong section over there. To the single chocolate bars." Pfft, talk about take the mick. She picked up a box of £5 chocolates. That was her treat. I don't think so, sunshine. There you go. Single bars of Galaxy. Small packet of Maltesers. I might even allow you to have the £1 packet, which incidentally appeared to be the same price as the small packets when we were kids. Do you remember those? £5 she picked this up. Anyway, so she got something and Harry got something. And my sister got Skittles, I think. Are those little... Are they like Smarties, I think, aren't they? Skittles. She got Skittles. And, of course, I was in there. So I did choose a very small bar of chocolate to add to the 2 ice creams that I'd already had. Disgusting, really. Disgusting. There's like these... right on Skegness Beach, as you come down, and there's a roundabout. You go over the roundabout and you keep going. And right there on the left, just before the beach, there's about 5 ice cream places, right? One of which, she's a miserable old bag. She is so miserable. It's not that, if you were looking at it, it's not the one on the left, it's the next one. And there's some old dear who works there. She's about 50, I would imagine. Around about the same age as me. She's thin and wears glasses. Miserable. We don't go to her. And there's never anyone at her. There's never anyone there. Go around the side to some young girl. And she's always happy and up for fun. Always happy and up for fun. Miserable cow. If you go been to Skegness, you'll know where I mean. So once again, you come down there, go over the roundabout, get to the end, and on the left is some ice cream place. Not on the right, on the left, right before the beach. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they kind of go round in like a circle a bit, going towards the beach. The second one along from the left. You go down, next time you go to Skegness, and you'll see what I mean. You'll say to whoever you're with, that Chris was right, she is a miserable old cow after all. Ian says, were they sand flies as they bite and are painful? Well, we didn't feel them biting, Ian, but they must have bitten because I've got bites on my legs now. Horrible things, tiny little black things they are. Horrible. Michael says, poor children. Oh, they're all right, dear. They still got There are restrictions on sweets. I know, Rachel, 2 ice creams. It's disgusting. Homemade chips Ellie makes. Very tasty indeed. Homemade chips. I do Slimmer's World chips. So you basically cut up a potato, spray it with fry light, and then put them in the oven. They're nice. Can't really do them in the caravan. The oven here doesn't... It only gets up to about 160 degrees and they're forever in there. By the time they're finished, they're all completely dried out. There we are. Skegness is across the Irish Sea. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland... And maybe at the closing of the day, I know all the Irish songs. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are yearning. Da 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 on the 40 shades of green. And Hannigan's Hoolie, do you know that one? Hannigan's Hoolie, da 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 da. That one, love it, love it. Where are we now? Let's just go back a bit there. Paul says, was it the 3 penny bits, Chris? No. Free penny bits. So that was my day yesterday. We came back and very nice indeed. Very nice day indeed. When it hot. What's the time? Oh my God, have I done an hour and 10 minutes? Oh, I'm going to go now. We'll have to go in a minute. We can't stay here all day, dear. Got things to do. Got karaoke tonight. I'll tell you about that in a second. We haven't done any of the news stories that I did here, have we, at all? Oh, well. And there were some good news stories here today, I must say. I'm going to save all those. Maybe we can do one or two of those tomorrow. And was it Mike? Someone sent me the one about the 5 sitcoms as well. I think that was Mike sent me those. How do I save all those? Let's see. Bookmark all tabs. One moment. Let's bookmark that as... What's today? Thursday the 25th. Thursday 25. Then I can bookmark those and... Oh, that's worked. Yes, maybe I'll pull those up for you tomorrow. One or two of those. Okie doke. Are you going, Ellie? Bye, Ellie. Bye, Ellie. This is the point of the show. If you're new to the show, welcome along. We do birthdays at the end of the show. If your birthday is on the Facebook, then I'll be able to pull it up and see whose birthday it is. And we always do everyone's birthdays at the end of the show. So, happy birthday on this Thursday, the 25th of July. I do yesterday's as well, because we weren't here yesterday, was we? No. So I do yesterday's as well. First of all, today's happy birthday on this Thursday, the 25th of July, 2019, to Jason J. Bob. Good morning, Jason. 33 years old today. Hello, Jason. Happy birthday. Rogerio Eduardo, who I worked with. He was a DJ at Belushi's in Hammersmith and many other places. Good morning, Rogerio. 38 years old today. Mark Tidy today is 50 years old today. Happy birthday, Mark. Mark Clare. There's Mark Clare. Used to come along to the Black Cap and Heaven as well when I was DJing there. 44 years old today. Happy birthday, Mark. Robert Highland. Good morning, Robert. A young 35 today. James Lanton. Good morning, James. Happy birthday to you. Bethany Edge. Just a lovely name, isn't it? Bethany Edge today. It's her birthday. And Keely Marie. Oh, such a beautiful girl. Keely Marie. Again, someone who came along to many of the karaoke nights I did, actually. Mainly the one in Hammersmith. So happy birthday to the lovely Keely. And she's got some wonderful talent. She's got a lovely voice when she sings at karaoke. Yesterday's birthday, so that's Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2019. Happy birthday to Paige Turner yesterday, 46 years old. Happy birthday, Paige. Lee Burns yesterday was 35 years old. Scott Longman, 46 years old yesterday. Nicky Price, good morning, Nicky. Was his birthday yesterday. He's raising money for cancer research. Nicky Price, good luck with that one. Wes Charles, good morning, Wes. He's raising money for the ocean cleanup. Happy birthday to you for yesterday. And finally, Judy London. The lovely Judy London. Now, are you the one that does the karaoke as well? I can't remember now. Judy London. No, maybe not. No, I think I have worked with you, but you don't do the karaoke. Don't think you do the karaoke, do you? No. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Now, where's my little song? Here we go. Oh. Why can't I hear that? I can't hear that. Can you hear that? Yeah, you can hear it. I can't hear that. Oh, that's it. I've got to turn that up. Hang on a minute. Can't sing along if I can't hear the tune, dear. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Look, there's people wishing you happy birthday there. Michael Lawrence is wishing everyone a happy birthday today. Good morning to Thomas H. Morning, Thomas. Someone, I'm really sorry, someone's got like a different writing to like the writing we use. I don't know how to say that, little squiggly lines. I'm not quite sure what your name is there. I'm really sorry, I don't know how to say that. But whoever it is wishing happy birthday to everyone there, which is very nice of you. All right. Joanna says, no birthday needed. Well, not the singing. How rude. Ellie's lying. She says she's 21 years old today. I doubt that very much, Ellie. Thank you, Michael, for your kind comments there. And there we go. Right, so it's Thursday night tonight. What are you doing this evening? Is anyone in Cleethorpes? I'm in Cleethorpes tonight. Thursday night karaoke. Hosting karaoke tonight at Silhouette Bar, which is in Alexandra Road. Now, Alexandra Road runs parallel to the seafront, but it's not the road on the seafront, okay? So you got the road that's right at the seafront, and then there's a sea. The next one up, okay, so you go up some steps, it's there, right? And it's quite, it's not far from the seafront at all. So that's where I am doing the karaoke tonight. We've done 2 there so far, and they've been particularly good. They really have. A lovely crowd in there. We start the karaoke at 9 o'clock, and we do start at 9, okay? None of this like, oh, it'll be about 9 o'clock. No, we do start at 9. Sometimes a bit early if I get there earlier. I start when I've set up. You know, some of these people, oh, I'm not on till 9 o'clock. No, what's the point in that? Sitting there until your time. Might as well start, mightn't you? So sometimes if I get there a bit earlier and I'm set up and everything's working, but that's not always the case. You know, sometimes I do get to places early because I like to, if there's something wrong, I like to be able to sort it out before time, you know. But nevertheless, that's the time tonight. Silhouette Bar in Cleethorpes this evening. There we are. Thanks for joining us, boys and girls. And if you haven't seen it before, because we've got some new people there, I do have a quite nice little closing video. There's also an opening video, which a lot of you won't have seen. That's 5 minutes long, and I always run that just before I'm doing a show, so that there are people here. Otherwise, I sit here talking to myself, which I do as soon as I've switched off. Okay, so enjoy this little closing video, and I'll see you again, hopefully at some time tomorrow morning. Have a good day, and try and keep cool. Bye-bye now.